Hi, my name is Rishik. I'm a second year student of BBA ENF. Today I'm interviewing Souvik, who is actually working professionally. So let's start the podcast. My first question to you is, as a second year student, what skills should I start building now to get into a leadership role like you?
Okay, so as a second year student, one should ensure that their foundations are good. So, in a leadership role, obviously you need advanced skills like analytical thinking, leadership, teamwork. But I believe that the basics are the most important part. If someone has the basics clear, how to think quickly, how to problem solve, I think that is something that comes actually much more, in the forefront rather than those teamwork, leadership skills. Obviously, those are important. Yes, that is no doubt about it. But I think a lot of people try to focus on these skills first. They're kind of like jumping the gun. They should first start with the basic skills and then try to step by step build up to skills like leadership.
Okay. If I had to ask you this question, what we are taught in our second year is very basic. Is it very relatable to the course that or anything that we learn in the professional area?
Yes. So again, as I mentioned, the basics should be clear, right? So what the colleges and all these educational institutes try to ensure is that a person's basics are clear, so that once they go into a professional field, they at least have the skill, whether they actually utilize it or not. The a college or an educational institute will ensure that you will have a arsenal ready. You will have all the tools prepared, even if you don't need it for the job. It's basically like when you are starting construction, you keep the cranes, you keep everything ready, you pre-plan everything. Even if you don't need it, or later on you find out that that piece was not necessary. So I would explain education as something similar. As from personal experience, this is how I felt especially.
Any advice that you might give to a second year who's actually starting his journey in your role?
Okay, so if a second year again, it's a pretty young age to start. I started mine in much later stage, but I would ensure that he can get as much advice as possible. A right mentor, a right coach can have a very big impact on a youngster's life, especially as someone in the second year, because you still have time to choose and to decide what you're going to do in the future.
Okay, so if you have to restart your life again, and you had to go through all the processes just to reach your goal, what are the subjects that you might take? If you are right now in our place and you have to restart everything and you have to go back to your role that you are in right now, what subjects that you might take? What are the different studies that you might do, or any other thing that you might tell us right now which will help the younger generation?
So I would say in the modern day, I think, again, this is a buzzword, everyone keeps using it, that's AI. Okay. And now the thing about AI is that, first of all, a lot of people think that it's going to take away jobs and all. It isn't. The people who have jobs right now are the ones who actually can use AI smartly and with actual knowledge and with skills. So let's take an example of someone who knows coding. Alright, just for an example. Someone who knows coding can nowadays utilize AI and make programs. So before he used to write code, but now he knows how to utilize AI and make code. But again, AI can make mistakes, right? AI can make mistakes, make errors, and you also need someone to supervise an AI, right? So that person has that experience. He has written code himself, so he knows what should be there, shouldn't be there. So that's how a person can utilize AI in today's modern day and age. He needs the skills to back it up and needs to know how to use AI, because nowadays, I mean, it is inevitable. Everything is slowly having some AI, some technology. So you need to have that kind of an aspect or that kind of a thinking, specifically.
That is really, because we have been told that AI is going to take up everything and they're going to take up most of our jobs and everything in our role, which is making the younger generation very insecure that even if they're being very accomplished in their subjects, in their roles, they're still, their jobs will not be there, and they might not end up having a really good careers in their life. But thank you so much for giving us this advice. My next question to you is, what are some mistakes students usually make while preparing for careers in these industries? If I have to elaborate on this, some subjects that they might take, they take it just for, like for example, people say computer science is very saturated, economics, finance is also not a really good thing, you have to get a professional degree just to stand out. So what are the mistakes that students that might make while coming through this journey, and if mistakes that you might have made and you wanted to change, can you answer that?
Yeah, so I would actually like to say that like the mistakes I made was that I didn't focus that much on the basics. Right? I didn't focus that much on the foundational topics. Tried to always look for next advanced thing, next advanced thing, next advanced thing. Right? But at the end of the day, what actually helped me is the core problem solving skills, the core logical thinking skills. Right? And I mean, that's not it. Also, things like people think that, oh, knowing about this is not important. As someone might have taken commerce and would have completely ignored computer science and been like, oh, I'm never going to use this again. But then again, now you have AI coming up. You have no clue about computers, and how will you manage? That's when people are like, oh, I have studied so much and now my job is worthless, my degree is worthless. This is the reason. People don't even try to look outside their own aspects or whatever they're pursuing right now. If you're doing commerce, at least have an understanding of technology. You don't need to be a complete coder. You need to be a complete, a programmer. You don't need to do that. You just need to know how it works, the basics, how it works, how it operates. Because at the end of the day, if by chance you're in a commerce field or you're in a science field and you're flipped, okay, if you're in a science field, you're given a position that handles customer service, that handles sales, marketing. You have never done this in your life. But vice versa, someone who has studied commerce his whole life is given a team which is full of tech people, right? And then he has to extract sales from them. Now, how will you manage that, right? You need to have that kind of skills, that you need to actually have information about everything. I would say nowadays, modern days, generalists really strive, really shine in the industries.
Since you were telling about how AI takes a job and everything, I wanted to tell you about my own degree and what I'm pursuing right now. I am studying economics and finance in a pretty core way, and we have in our subjects we learn about the macroeconomic, the microeconomic factors, and how these influence the markets, and finance to back it up, to learn how economics affects finances. In finances, of course, we have stock market trading, we have derivative trading, we have so many other asset classes we go through, we study through, just to get the hold of how the economy works. Sometimes I do feel like if AI does take up the job, of course AI does make it 100% effective, but it does require a human touch, because AI can have their issues and we need someone to back it up. In stock market and everything, maybe AI is being intervened, maybe AI is being brought in because it makes the trades more effective, it makes the user more comfortable with how the stocks are moving up, and it also helps in predictability. But I still feel like AI won't be able to take up 100% of the job. It might require few humans, it might require the human efficiency in this area. So I wanted to know what your views would be on this.
Yeah, okay, so again, as I said before, AI is a tool, okay? AI is like the computer when it came out. Back when the computer came out, people used to write everything, logs, accounts, on books, right? Everyone might have even seen or know someone who still writes stuff in books, in accounts and all that stuff, in books and stuff, right? That's why it's called bookkeeping. But then computers came along. People who literally had a job to write stuff inside books were gone. People thought the world's gonna end. People thought jobs are gonna be lost. But what happened? They evolved, right? AI is exactly the same. AI is a tool. AI is going to revolutionize the way people operate, the way people think, and the way a computer did. A few years back, no one would have ever imagined a thing like the internet, right? But now it is an integral part no one can even think about. AI is just at the beginning stage of it, right? And you might look back after 10, 15 years and think, oh, what were we even worrying about, right? So obviously there are risks to AI, there are dangers to AI, that is inevitable. Every technology has its pros and cons, right? But like we need as a human, that's why a human touch is needed. Obviously, that's why humans cannot be replaced. Is because humans are the ones who actually give a machine or something, a non-living thing, feeling, a soul, a touch. Like for example, a computer or something like that can be used to make weapons, can be used to cause harm to other humans through, people do cyber crimes, hacking, phishing, and all that stuff happens, right? But at the same time, right, again, the people who are doing it are humans. So at the end of the day, it's a human's choice, a human's job to ensure that he is working with the AI, he is working to do good, working for morality. The humanity and the morality is something that the AI can never replace. AI might solve 1,000 problems, 1,000 mathematical problems, equations, everything. But at the end of the day, when it comes to making those last, final human decisions, I think that's when we come to it.
If I have to talk on this, so if me being from this background, I have no knowledge in computers. I have no knowledge in AI, and if being in this world, there is diversified subjects in AI.
Yeah.
And it gets very difficult to know what to do so that I can at least stand out in the career in the next 5 years. Right now in my second year, I am studying economics and finance, but it's not correlated to computer science or anything that is related to AI. What kind of subjects would you recommend to me or any other courses that might help? Because there are students who are unable to get into these areas in these fields and like can't study what AI means and everything, and they are going through some other subjects, and it might be possible that long run AI takes up their jobs and that they are not standing out. They have to be unemployed. So what would you recommend to these students who are not studying AI, computer science, and studying different subjects and any kind of courses that you might do?
Yeah. So a person who's not getting into AI, again, see, AI is like something like a tool, right? So you need to know how to use that tool effectively. Right? Someone might be a very proficient at that tool, and someone might just know the basics. So a person just like who is not into AI, not into computer science, a beginner step would be just learn how to understand how to use ChatGPT. Anyone can learn prompting, anyone can learn how to do those things. And the simplicity of AI is that someone who is 50, 60, literally at the end of the career right now, can learn AI from scratch. People are hearing from their dads, their parents, their uncles, their aunts that dude, I generated an image on AI, made a WhatsApp message on AI, talk to an AI. Something like this, something basic like this can be learned by anyone, even someone who's not very, well versed in technology. Right? So that is what I'm trying to emphasize. Like someone who has not a lot of experience in computers can learn from these basic, because AI has a very simple user interface. Sure, I would also like suggest it could be simpler, right? It could be even simpler, but as it is right now, is just a click away. I think everyone has a phone, everyone has at least decent internet access, right? They can. You don't need to be a coding wizard. You don't need to be someone who completely understands how the back end of an AI works. You should just know how to utilize it efficiently. Now, for example, you're doing something on Excel, right? Now, I won't recommend this, but obviously, just for an example, someone who's working on Excel, before he used to do core Excel, used to work everything on Excel, used to manually input everything and all stuff. Okay, but now with something like an AI, with something like inbuilt Claude, inbuilt ChatGPT, that person can put a prompt and just explain what he's trying to do. People can have simple explanation, comprehension skills, right? So a person can explain something very normally, like English. AI doesn't require you to know Python, you to know Java, you need C++ to do anything, to interact with it. You just need to know English. So something like that can be taught, can be learned. And I do agree that I think a lot of people should learn about AI. I mean, a lot of people are currently not doing it, but I think it should, first of all, should be something that is taught in schools, in primary education, because going forward in the future, if you don't know AI, I mean, again, I think this is, people might get scared, people might get worried about hearing this, but if you do not know AI, because simply you're gonna be replaced. As you can see, layoffs happening in Meta, layoffs happening in Oracle, right? Big companies, LinkedIn, big companies are laying off people because they can simply be replaced by AI. So that is something that needs to be taught in a basic level, in a foundational level. At least simple interactions with AI, simple use. Again, you need to know how to use that tool. That's it. You don't need to know how to make it, how it works, nothing. Just how you can use it efficiently. That's it.
Your talks have been really helpful to the students. I really hope that the students who are really watching these podcasts get hold of what AI means, how it can be a tool, how it can be a pretty great thing to use for their career. Apart from this, I just wanted to ask how your journey has been from being a student, because of course you are way elder to us, and of course you are going through this journey and looking at students like us. What do you think is very different, and what do you think is very new that you could have learned right now, and what you had learned, how is it very different? I just wanted to know about your journey.
Yeah, so when I started out in this career, I learned the basics, learned how to work in this field, learn how to operate all the functions, everything, right? But and step by step kept learning, getting experiences, right? Having the right mentors, having the right people to guide me through it, so that now I've reached this position. So this guidance, this help from people elder than me, who were senior than me back in the day, helped me now to be at the position I am right now. I'm simply very thankful to them. Right. When I was a college student, obviously Indian college, I learned everything. I learned a little bit of this, a little bit of that, everything. So I am kind of thankful, because now that I look back on it, I have an idea about every aspect. Right. I cannot say that I'm completely clueless about something. Right. So yeah, I mean, I have gained a lot of skills, a lot of experience, a lot of different knowledge from everywhere, and we just finally come and culminated to me being in this position and then getting this position.
Thank you so much. So we'll come to an end for this new podcast. I hope you guys liked it.